Okay. Yeah. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone is doing okay. Welcome back to the show. It's been I would say Thanksgiving Day in the US, and it's been a wonderful morning. It's just a time to just thank God for another day, another time, and another moment. I came in to do this quick broadcast this morning and just to go through different events. First, I want to cover the National Guard attack that happened yesterday in the United States of America. Unfortunately, there is an investigation going on right now, and it seems to me that this is being treated as an act of terrorism. This is one of the latest news coming out from there. Let's see.
Boom, boom, boom. And so I'm starting to handle these big guns. I'm like, okay, this is something's going on. This is a little bit serious. This is shooting. There's something bad going on here. I see 2 National Guard members down.
Wow. So this was when they were carried, over to the to the helicopter just to be given. At this point in time, we had conflicting news of what really was happening. We were not really sure because the governor had come out to say that they are dead, and then he came out again with another tweet saying that we're receiving conflicting report at this time. Apparently, Trump also waded in and responded with respect to the individual that actually did the shooting. So this was when they were carrying the guy, on. Now this is also another thing. Live two Virginia National Guard members shot near the White House. Now let's see. Okay, this seems to be the live event. I'm just going to skip through. But let me first look at this.
Do want to go out live right now in D.C. We do have the D.C. mayor there, Mayor Bowser, joined with FBI Director Kash Patel. Let's listen right now on Live Now.
Okay.
They'll tell us. They're moving people a little bit still. Cameras.
Jimmy, are we ready?
Ready.
Okay, you're ready now. Yeah, let's see.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kash Patel, FBI Director. We're here to brief you on the tragic events that happened today at approximately 2:15 local time in Washington, D.C., where 2 of our brave members of the National Guard and the Department of War were brazenly attacked in a horrendous act of violence. They were shot. They're in critical condition. As you can see behind me, we have assembled
but now
full force.
they confirmed that they're dead, okay? It's just quite unfortunate. Yep.
Of both the federal and state and local law enforcement agencies to bring bear all of our resources to make sure we find the perpetrators responsible for this heinous act.
Yeah, which have been found now, right? They were able to nab the person that did the whole heart.
Since this is an assault on a federal law enforcement officer, this will be treated at the federal level as an assault on a federal law enforcement officer. The FBI will lead out on that mission with our interagency partners, to include the Department of Homeland Security, Secret Service, ATF, DEA, and we're thankful for the mayor's assistance in this matter, the Metropolitan Police Department and their skills in investigating homicides and gun shootings in this city is exceptional. We will work together collaboratively because this is a matter of national security, because this is a matter of pride. President Trump has been informed. We've been in contact with the White House. We will shortchange the American public with no resources to make sure we find and safeguard our nation's capital right here in Washington, D.C., and bring anyone responsible for this heinous act of violence to justice. I would lastly like to add to the American public and the world, please send your prayers to those brave warriors who are in critical condition and their families. They are here serving our country. They are here protecting everyday Americans and citizens around the world in our nation's capital. They are the heroes of this day, and we must remember them on this day and every day, and their families and the sacrifice they have made. I will now turn it over to Chief Carroll of the Metropolitan Police Department. Thank you.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeff Carroll. I'm the Executive Assistant Chief here at the Metropolitan Police Department.
At approximately 2:15 this afternoon, members of the D.C. National Guard were on high visibility patrols in the area of 17th and I Street Northwest when a suspect came around the corner, raised his arm with a firearm and discharged it at the National Guard members.
Okay.
The National Guard members, there were other members that were in the area. They were able to, after some back and forth, able to subdue the individual and bring them into custody. Within moments, members of law enforcement in the area were also able to assist and bring that individual into custody. At this time, as the director mentioned, the National Guard members are being treated at a local hospital. DC Fire and EMS responded to the scene to provide first aid for those individuals and transport them to a local hospital. The suspect in this case was also transported for treatment at a local hospital. Madam Mayor?
Thank you.
Okay, so let me hear what the mayor has
I'm
to say.
Muriel Bowser. I'm the mayor of Washington, D.C., and I, too, want to send my thoughts and prayers to the families of the guardsmen and to the guardsmen who are in critical condition in a local hospital. I am joined by members and leadership from the D.C. National Guard, from the West Virginia National Guard, United States Secret Service, Deputy Mayor Pia, Fire Chief Donnelly, and Metro's General Manager Randy Clark, and we join with the FBI Director in ensuring that MPD investigates, the U.S. Attorney prosecutes this case to the fullest extent of the law. I've had the opportunity to brief U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi, who was speaking to the president when I called, as well as the United States Attorney Pirro, who assured me that this case will have her office's complete attention.
Mayor, was there any other suspect?
Chief.
Sure. So, no, at this time, there's no indication that there was any other suspect. The one suspect that was involved in this incident, they were shot during the interaction, and they were transported to the hospital for treatment.
Mayor, does this validate the need for the National Guard?
So the guy was brutally shot. That's,
what we know, Andrea, is that this is a targeted shooting. One individual who appeared to target these guardsmen, that individual has been taken into custody.
Mayor, can you tell us any more details on the condition of the two National Guardsmen and whether or not anyone else was injured? And a quick question follow-up for the FBI Director. You said that we'll make sure we find the perpetrators for this act. So just to clarify, the person believed to be responsible is in custody and there are no other suspects.
That's too early to know, right?
Again, Chief Carroll from
it's too early to know.
So both of the individuals, the guard members, they are in critical condition in a local hospital at this time being treated. At this point, we have no other suspects. We have reviewed video from the area. It appears, like I said, to be a lone gunman that raised a firearm and ambushed these members of the National Guard, and he was quickly taken into custody by other National Guard members and law enforcement members.
Have you got any sense of motive?
No, at this time, obviously, we're very in the preliminary stages of investigation. There's a lot of things, a lot of agents that are here from various federal agencies, law enforcement agencies. We have the full power of the FBI and our federal partners here in the task force. So we're looking at all those different aspects, but we don't have any motive. The National Guardsmen that were shot, I'm told they were armed.
Wow. I mean, it was a targeted stuff. So, yeah.
Chief.
Sure. So how the suspect was apprehended, as I said, the individual, the suspect came around the corner. He immediately started firing a firearm at the two National Guard members. So at that time, there were other National Guard members that were in the area. They heard the gunfire. They actually were able to intervene and to kind of hold down the suspect after he had been shot on the ground until law enforcement got there within moments.
And he was shot by a National Guard?
At this point, we're still investigating exactly who shot the individual. It's not clear at this time.
Were there DC policemen in the area?
We don't know what kind of weapon. There was D.C. police. It happened right in front of the Metro, although there is no indication that the perpetrator was on the Metro. So there's Metro Transit Police in the area, and obviously being on 17th Street by the White House, Uniformed Division Secret Service were in the immediate area as well.
What kind of weapon the alleged perpetrator used?
We do not know at this time. It's still under investigation.
Okay.
We're going to be able to take a couple more.
Has been able to question the suspect, or is his condition so severe that you haven't been able to have a conversation?
Sure. Again, so as I said, we're very preliminary in the investigation, so we're looking to all aspects of who the individual is, his connections. At this time, he's still in the hospital receiving treatment.
And I would just like, I would just like to add, the reason that this suspect is in custody is because of the bravery of the men and women of the National Guard who responded due to their extensive training to secure American lives today, there was not any further injury and any further shootings. We should highlight the fact that the men and women of law enforcement, the interagency, the Department of War, and the National Guard executed their training with great precision today and prevented an even greater tragedy from befalling us. These National Guardsmen are heroes, and we must pray for their safety and their speedy recovery. And as the chief said, we are in the preliminary stages of this investigation. We will run down every single lead, every piece of evidence. This is the power of the U.S. government at its best.
Okay, we know that.
Federal level.
We know that.
That is why this interagency group is standing behind us to assure America and the world that we will continue to keep D.C. safe. And thankfully, we have Metropolitan Police Department, the National Guardsmen, and federal agents, and the Department of Justice and Attorney General willing to prosecute the mission to keep Americans safe. And President Trump has rightly stated that this heinous act will be investigated, and he has thanked the National Guardsmen and women and the men and women of law enforcement.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm talking about President Trump not being happy. I mean, he snapped yesterday. He's not even taking it at all. He's not taking it at all. He's been out there, you know. They said the guy came in from Afghanistan. So now, you know what happens? The blame game starts. We're gonna blame almost everybody. So this is what's happening, right? So again, 2 days ago, there was a billboard that urged the National Guard to refuse unlawful order amidst Trump deployment. Now, there's been the argument and the discussion with respect to, the Sedition 6. The Sedition 6, for those who don't know, were the 6 Democratic officials, politicians, who made a video, okay, that told the military to refuse orders from Donald Trump, tagged as illegal. Again, now there's been calls for them to actually be tried for treason. I know that might be stretched, but that's the call right now. Now there are some reports. This was just 2 hours ago. There are some reports that Islamic terrorists who killed a member of the National Guard in DC yesterday possibly worked for the CIA. For years, I've been saying, this is Laura Luma, for years I've been saying that it's a terrible idea to allow for Muslims to serve. Now, again, I don't necessarily agree with this, but again, it's just saying that it's been a terrible idea for Muslims to serve in our intelligence with our military. Your allegiance will never be to America when you practice an ideology that calls for Sharia supremacy. Now, one of the most underreported elements of the war on terror were all the Muslims who signed up to serve, who then defected or carried out acts of friendly fire on U.S. soldiers because they showed more loyalty and allegiance to the Islamic terrorists they were supposed to be fighting than the Americans they support. Again, that's casualty that happens during wartime, where people switch allegiance, okay, to another group or to another sect due to their religious background. Now, this is what she had to say. Now, Trump already snapped. Trump says all Afghans brought in under Biden will now have their immigration status re-examined after today's attack on our National Guard. Wow, he's not taking it, lightly.
Re-examine every single alien who has entered our country from Afghanistan under Biden, and we must take all necessary measures to ensure the removal of any alien from any country who does not belong here or add benefit to our country. If they can't love our country, we don't want them.
Yeah, I mean,
America
you would
will
expect
never bend
that.
and never yield in the face of terror. And at the same time, we will not be deterred from the mission these service members were so nobly fulfilling. That is why tonight I can announce that I have directed the Department of War to mobilize an additional 500 troops to help protect our capital city.
Wow.
We must now re-examine every single alien who has entered our country from...
Okay, yeah, I've listened to that. Yeah, so he's going to go full, scotch out on them. All these guys that came in during Biden, because Biden brought them in, basically, in 2021, when he set in motion the withdrawal from Afghanistan, and we know how that went. Let me look at this. Breaking has been confirmed that gunmen were shot point blank in the head by the Afghanistan nationals that was let in under Biden. What happened over the last 4 years has made our country severely unsafe. Deployed the National Guard nationwide and expelled the invaders. Okay, let me see. This
video
is
tonight from just moments after the brazen shooting. Plus, a new emergency motion. The Trump administration asking a federal judge to keep the National Guard in D.C. following the shooting, a deployment that a judge just ruled as illegal.
Wow.
Breaking news, ambush. New video just in of what officials are calling a targeted attack on 2 National Guardsmen deployed in Washington, D.C. You can see in this video here police administering CPR to one of those guardsmen as he lays on the ground. As the camera pans, you can see a second guardsman also surrounded by police.
Damn.
The shooting took place less than half a mile just north of the White House, as you see on the map there.
Wow.
At approximately 2:15 this afternoon, members of the D.C. National Guard were on high visibility patrols in the area of 17th and I Street Northwest.
Okay, so we've seen this one, and it's just quite unfortunate that happened. Okay, reports of National Guard soldiers. Okay, we've seen this, and this is the full. Okay, so the name of the guy, Andrew Wolfs, one of the West Virginia National Guardsmen, is in critical condition. So that was then. Now I think he did succumb to it. Let me listen to the full stuff. Yeah.
Earlier today, on the eve of the Thanksgiving holiday, 2 members of the National Guard serving in Washington, D.C. were shot at point-blank range in a monstrous ambush-style attack just steps away from the White House. They've been deputized as part of the most successful public safety and national security mission in the history of our nation's capital, the D.C. Safe and Beautiful Task Force, which has achieved an unprecedented reduction in violent crime and crimes of all type. This heinous assault was an act of evil, an act of hatred, and an act of terror. It was a crime against our entire nation. It was a crime against humanity. The hearts of all Americans tonight are with those 2 members of the West Virginia National Guard and their families. The love of our entire country is pouring out for them, and we are lifting them up in our prayers. As we are filled with anguish and grief for those who were shot, we're also filled with righteous anger and ferocious resolve. As President of the United States, I am determined to ensure that the animal who perpetrated this atrocity pays the steepest possible price. I can report tonight that based on the best available information, the Department of Homeland Security is confident that the suspect in custody is a foreigner who entered our country from Afghanistan, a hellhole on earth. He was flown in by the Biden administration in September 2021 on those infamous flights that everybody was talking about.
We saw the flight.
Nobody knew who was coming in. Nobody knew anything about it.
Hi, welcome to the show,
His status was extended under legislation signed by President Biden, a disastrous president, the worst in the history of our country.
Wow.
This attack underscores the single greatest national security threat facing our nation. The last administration let in 20 million unknown and unvetted foreigners from all over the world, from places that you don't want to even know about. No country can tolerate such a risk to our very survival.
It's crazy.
An example is Minnesota, where hundreds of thousands of Somalians are ripping off our country and ripping apart that once great state. Billions of dollars are lost, and gangs of Somalians come from a country that doesn't even have a government, no laws, no water, no military, no nothing. As their representatives in our country preach to us about our Constitution and how our country is no good. We're not going to put up with these kind of assaults on law and order by people who shouldn't even be in our country. We must now re-examine every single alien who has entered our country from Afghanistan under Biden, and we must take all necessary measures to ensure the removal of any alien from any country who does not belong here or add benefit to our country. If they can't love our country, we don't want them. America will never bend and never yield in the face of terror. And at the same time, we will not be deterred from the mission these service members were so nobly fulfilling. That is why tonight I can announce that I have directed the Department of War to mobilize an additional 500 troops to help protect our capital city. We will make America totally safe again, and we will bring the perpetrator of this barbaric attack to swift and certain justice if the bullets going in the opposite direction haven't already done that. During this time of the year, when we gather at home with loved ones, these two patriots were wearing the uniform of our country, patrolling the streets of our capital. They had taken a selfless oath to defend our nation against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And that is exactly what they were doing when they were gunned down in a savage attack. I want to express my extraordinary gratitude to every member of the United States military who is deployed tonight at home and abroad. I also want to thank the Secret Service and the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department for their work today. This Thanksgiving, I ask every family to say a prayer for the two great heroes who were so horribly shot and for their loved ones. Please say a prayer. May God bless them and comfort them, and may God bless and protect the United States of America. Thank you and good night.
Yeah, so elections do have consequences. 2021, this was a question that asked. This was the press secretary at that time. Let me see what she has to say.
About this a little bit, others have as well, but there are, of course, concerns among lawmakers, experts who've tracked this. They're saying previous arrivals of large numbers of refugees from different parts of the world, inevitably there may be a handful, small handful, who are eventually deemed a security risk of some kind. What reassurances can you make about the screening process and the attempts to make sure that somebody like that doesn't make his or her way here?
I can absolutely assure you that no one is coming into the United States of America who has not been through a thorough screening and background check process. And there are many individuals, as you noted, who have not been through that process, and they have gone to lily pad countries as that process has been completed. It doesn't mean that that's because there's a flag. It means they have not completed their paperwork, and we were working to save tens of thousands of people, hence we evacuated them to these third countries.
And then
Hi, welcome to the show. So again, this was 2021, and we were all aware. We were here at the time when they just let them in, and that was a major concern that people had. Like, how do you bring these people in, and how do we even know that they are not, a security risk? Welcome to the show. Hi, Nzo and Serene, and that's it. Okay, that's what happened. Look at the view. So this is the guy. There's a POS shooter and video showing the aftermath of the DC shooting. All National Guard member deployed to the city must now be allowed to carry fully loaded weapon, as might as well paint a target on them. If this was targeted, we must change the rules of engagement. Everybody must be deputized as a now I'm not gonna go through that. This was the aftermath of what happened. Let me see. That was Okay, this was when they were trying to tackle the guy. Yeah, that's the guy that they're trying to tackle there. It's kind of videoed from a distant angle, so you're not going to see that well. This is the DC shooting that happened yesterday that we're covering. Trump just spoke and said, you know what? Yeah, we're going to now bring in 500 more National Guards. And they're already in court, against Trump. And we've seen what the Democrats also did, trying to actually paint the National Guard as the villain here, telling them that they shouldn't even obey Trump's order. That led people to call those 6 Democrats out and call them seditious 6. Yeah, so again, this is it. Let me see. Yeah. It's quite unfortunate. Today is Thanksgiving Day in the United States, and these people are no longer with us. It's just quite painful. I served in the National Guard as an army medic. What happened in DC today, it has me already ready to avenge my brother who was gunned down. I pray for their families. Okay, now again, part of this is one of the Democrats that did a video telling people not to obey President Trump's order. Here is Senator Slotkin just a few days ago, claiming the National Guard was about to start shooting at American civilians. An insane and dangerous lie. Now 2 troops were shot. Again, people just do random stuff. I'm not so sure if this was connected or if the guy saw this video.
Look at these videos coming out of places like Chicago. It makes me incredibly nervous that we're about to see people in law enforcement, people in uniformed military, get nervous, get stressed, shoot at American civilians. It is a very, very stressful situation for these law enforcement and for the communities on the ground. So it was basically a warning to say, like, if you're asked to do something, particularly against American citizens, look at these videos coming out.
Again, you can. Okay. I mean, if you are a representative of, your people and you work in the government, there are channels. Because how do you then judge what is illegal? Okay, so if you don't like the person in the White House, there are things you could do. I mean, you have the power of impeachment, and you've impeached this guy twice before. There are ways to hold him accountable. But having a video now, this is the guy, the Afghan national Ramanullah Lakowal, 29, who came to the U.S. in 2021 under the Joe Biden administration, Operation Allies Welcome Program. Welcome Program. I did as an alleged terrorist gunman in the shooting of the two National Guard in Washington, D.C. This is crazy. This is the guy, okay? This is the guy. National Guard pray outside the emergency room. Oh, this was before the guy left, so they were praying for him in front of the emergency room at the Washington Hospital Center. So they were praying for him. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it. Yeah. Okay, why lie? The senator said don't obey illegal orders. How do you define illegal orders? How do you know what illegal orders are? Again, we know this is politics. I mean, except you just don't want to be sincere. You report them saying don't obey orders, significant difference. Again, I played the video saying illegal orders, okay? So the video was there for anyone with have a brain to understand what I was talking about. And again, how do you even define that? He said if they order you to shoot an American citizen. Again, nobody, no president will say shoot an American citizen. It's clear as day, okay? So it's not as if I just said, oh, you said shoot, don't obey orders. I played the video and I said that. Okay, so that's that about that. They prayed, but unfortunately the guy succumbed to his injuries. This is the ID, the Afghan national terrorist. Okay, Rama, this I've read this. Yeah, I've seen this. We're gonna move on. The National Guard shooter. Yeah, we've seen this one. Again, that's just that's a reality. Yeah. So we face all of this. Now we don't know the full, intent. There's still investigation, but there were also report that said that the guy, shouted the famous name when they do some of this ideologic shooting. Recently, CNN compared the National Guard troop to Nazis, creating military units to watch people remind me of Germany in the 1930s. Well, let's see what this guy has to say.
So much of what the president is doing through the Secretary of Defense is creating units, official military units, to, quite frankly, watch the American people. And that's the thing that is absolutely abhorrent. It reminds me so much of what happened in Germany in the 1930s. Actually, what the president...
Wow. So again, when you have all these rhetorics, it just makes the whole thing to be kind of tensed. And that's it. This is the most disgusting news segment I've ever posted in my life. Nico Wallace and Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton is a race baiter, always on CNN. Are suggesting that Trump caused the attack on our brave men of the National Guard. These people are sickening and don't deserve to have a platform. Let me see
this
what
idea that they're all on the same side, right? I mean, people that follow a chain of command, and at any level in government, you are reporting to someone above you. To your point, it's the men and women of the military are following orders. I mean, that is the chain of command.
They're following orders. This was not a vote that they all voted and said the majority of us vote, therefore we have to go. They're following orders. And I also I'd show the concern that if this has been an ambush, we don't know where this is going. You got guardsmen out there that's got to wonder, is there something that's going to follow this up? We don't know what we're talking about yet. Mm-hmm. Was this a sole gunman that ambushed somebody? Is there a plan? You don't know. That's why I think we ought to be focused. We ought to deal with the fact that these men or women, we don't know the gender, should not be in any way harmed as they were, whether we agree with the deployment or not. I don't. And I think the president ought to focus on that on Thanksgiving Eve, as other guardsmen have to be concerned about their own safety, as well as their fellow guardsmen that are in a hospital fighting for their lives.
All right, we're going to take in another break. When we come back, we'll be joined by the former commander of one state's National Guard. That's next.
Okay, so again, that's it. Yeah, I've seen this one. Yeah, President said there should be consequence for those who follow Trump's order. Arrest. Okay, let me just see what she has to say.
What do you think, as a lawyer? What do you think the consequences
welcome
should
to
be
the show,
for people
Joe.
who are abiding by following these steps from the commander-in-chief when they seem to be complete overreaches of power?
They're following unlawful commands from Donald Trump. And if you're committing offenses and your defense is going to be, I was just following orders. You know, that didn't work out so well at Nuremberg. It certainly didn't work out so well for Lieutenant Calley when he, engaged in mass murder, the My Lai massacre. And, Pete Hegseth just doing whatever Donald Trump tells him to do, like initiating a criminal investigation that could result in a court-martial of Senator Kelly for simply stating accurately what the military law provides. Or
again, we know what they're doing, and it's just, except we don't want to be sincere with ourselves. There are channels when you don't agree with what the president is doing that you can channel that to. That's why you're a senator. Okay, that's why you're a senator. That's why you're lawmakers. That's why you're lawmakers, rather. So when you're saying that, and again, what is the substance of even this order that we're talking about?
Kash Patel's FBI opening criminal probes of members of Congress for speaking the truth. That is something that will someday, when the rule of law comes back into the light of day, will have to be tackled. They'll have to be held accountable for those abuses.
It's going to be accounting for all of this and remembering all of it. Glenn Kirshner, thank you.
Yeah, just the way they held, James Comey accountable. I mean, the guy has been, they've dismissed the indictment, right? Based on technicalities, So again, it's all politics intertwined into national politics. You just don't want to, you just want to be honest with yourself, and it's just going to be blaming them, one sec blaming the other, and then we'll see what happened. Just days ago, okay, let me see this, where this was a Fox News responding to what Elisa Slotskin, is it Slotskin? Yeah. Said. Okay,
Tudor Dixon, you're in Michigan, where your junior senator, Elissa Slotkin, has been making news this week. One of the things she said that didn't get as much coverage is that she fears, quote, law enforcement is going to end up shooting people. The opposite happened today. So what are folks in Michigan saying? Are they actually angry with her? Is this breaking through to them?
Absolutely, very angry, and she will definitely be challenged in 2030 when she's up. But I do believe that this was a political stunt on purpose. I mean, the seditious six, as we're calling them, they wanted to be on the evening shows. They wanted to be on the weekend shows. She was on the weekend show, as you pointed out. But you have to remember, she's also a CIA agent. She's a former CIA agent. She has been trained. She understands what these agents go through. She knows that the National Guardsmen are not going to get nervous and start shooting people. And yet she was irresponsible enough to go out and say that. Across the board, Democrats have blood on their hands today, and they need to come out and say they are going to ratchet down this rhetoric. They're going to stop saying these things, because not only did this man come over under the Biden administration, but you have all of these Democrats who have said time and time again that these guardsmen, that are ICE agents, that all of these people who are out there to keep us safe, our law enforcement officers who are out there to keep us safe, are a threat, or even that they are committing illegal, or they're following illegal orders. Yep. And then when asked about it straight point blank, are these illegal orders? They said, well, you know, it's a little fuzzy. We don't know if they're illegal. They're not illegal. They put them in danger. They made them question whether or not they should follow the commander in chief. This goes beyond irresponsible. These people have no business being near Washington, D.C. We will not forget here in Michigan, and we will make sure that in 2030, Alyssa Slotkin goes home.
Okay, yeah, so that's the political side. Yeah, again, I mean, well, this is broken. I mean, we all know that. We all know that. 2 National Guardsmen, 20 and 24, these were just young guys starting their life, protecting the people of DC. Pray for them and their families. Wow, that's crazy. Wow, tragic. They both passed away. And now these are the seditious 6. In case of you all wanted to see some cause and effect. Again, you wouldn't want to just say that, you know what, this is directly tied to the videos that the Democrats did. But again, I expect the Republicans to use this, you know, as an anchor for whatever it is. And that's what happens. Okay, that's what happens. Now, again, lips of TikTok. Yeah, she's sharing here. This Chicago Mayor Branson Johnson leading a protest against the National Guard with disgusting signs demonizing them. 2 National Guards. Okay, let me see. Yeah, this is them here. No troops in Chicago, but every weekend, Chicago can actually have people, you know, unaliving each other in their numbers, okay? And that's just it. Okay, so I'm gonna move on. We'll just see what happens and follow from whatever news that comes from that. But that's that about this troubling. The Biden-Harris administration. Okay, the Biden-Harris administration claimed that they were importing Afghans as refugees who helped the U.S. government, when in reality, officials admit in newly obtained documents from litigation that they did not know their identities. Some have allegedly committed heinous crimes. Wow. Wow. I'm writing on behalf of the Refugee Affairs Office to request your assistance with identifying locally engaged staff who qualify as referrals to U.S. refugee admission program. Please note, okay, locally engaged staff in this respect is referring only to Afghans who work in Afghanistan. Monday afternoon, Secretary Blinken, that was the Secretary of State then under Biden, announced a new program known as P2. The Afghan P2 program complements the SIV program and denotes group of special concerns by virtue of their circumstances and apparent need for refugee resettlement. Locally engaged staff who are eligible for the SIV program should not be referred to as USRAP. The Afghan P2 designation permits the embassy to refer LE staffs, okay, and family members, spouse, and children of any age, whether married or unmarried, for P2 if these Afghans do not meet the minimum time in service for SIV, but who worked at any time as LE staff for the U.S. government. So again, it was not only those who worked that came in. I mean, we saw the military plane when it was leaving Afghanistan. Sorry, we saw how the whole thing was just uncoordinated, and that was really crazy. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, let me move back to Nigeria and just follow up with what's happening. Yeah, yesterday we saw that Tinubu declared Nigeria, sorry about that, declared Nigeria, a national emergency, given the insecurity situation in Nigeria. And that has been, at least something good. We also went through the Senate, what's it called again? The Senate hearing on security matters. And while we're going through, it was so, interesting to see that even the senators themselves admitted that those people creating the atrocities, in Nigeria, that the military knows who they are, where they are, okay? And that why is it that we're not getting so much action, with respect to this. So let me just go back and just get one of the highlights and things that we spoke about yesterday with respect to that. Okay, I'm just looking for the handle of Tinubu, and just to read that out for everyone. Bear with me here. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so declaration of a nationwide security emergency and recruitment of additional army and police personnel. Fellow Nigerians, today, in view of the emerging security situation, I've decided to declare a nationwide security emergency and other additional recruitment into the armed forces. By this declaration, the police and the army are authorized to recruit more personnel. The police will recruit an additional 20,000 officers, bringing the total to 50,000. Although I had previously approved the nationwide upgrade of police training facilities, the police authorities are by this statement authorized to use various national NYSC camps as training depot. The officers being withdrawn from VIP guard duty should undergo crash training to debrief them and deliver more efficient police services when deployed to security challenge area of the country. The DSS also has my authority to immediately deploy all the forest guards already trained to flush out the terrorists and bandits lurking in our streets and our forests, rather. The agency also has my directive to recruit more men to man the forest. There will be no more hiding place for agents of evil. My fellow Nigerians, this is a national emergency and we are responding by deploying more boots on the ground, especially in security challenge area. The time requires all hands on deck. As Nigerians, we should all get involved in securing our nation. Let me take this moment to commend our security agencies for working together to secure the release of the 24 school girls in Kebbi and the 38 worshippers in Kwara State. We will continue to sustain the efforts to rescue the remaining students of Catholic school in Niger State and other Nigerians still being held hostage. To the leadership and rank and file of our armed forces, I commend your courage and your sacrifice. This is a challenging moment for our nation and for the military institution itself. I charge you to remain resolute, to restore peace across all theater of operations, and to uphold the highest standards of discipline and integrity. There must be no compromise, no collusion, and no negligence. The Nigerian people are counting on you, and this administration will provide the support you need to succeed. In addition, our administration will support state governments which have set up security outfits to safeguard their people. We saw the Southwest governors meet together, to form like an alliance to ensure that the Southwest is safe and secured. And they've been doing this since the days of Buhari, when they were faced with heightened security risks from various insurgents across the countries. I call on the National Assembly to begin reviewing our laws, which I think they started yesterday, to allow states that require state police to establish them. I think all states should have state police, at least as much as they need, that force. States should rethink establishing boarding schools in remote areas without adequate securities. I think states should work on having adequate securities everywhere it could. Mosques and churches should constantly seek police and other security protection when they gather for prayers, especially in vulnerable areas. Our administration created the livestock ministry to address the persistent clashes between the herders and farmers. I call on all herders associations to take advantage of it, end open grazing, and surrender illegal weapons. Ranching is now the path forward for sustainable livestock farming and national harmony. 2025, I don't think we should still be supporting a lot of all these herders, because that doesn't apply to various industries in the country. they can give them loans, they can give them all the things they need, but there should also be a way that they repay. Because if you're going into a business, no matter what, it should be sustainable. We shouldn't be subsidizing a lot of all this stuff. But you could create an enabling environment for the earners to be able to do whatever it is that they are interested in. The federal government, in collaboration with the state, will work with you to solve this problem once and for all. I sympathize with the families who have lost their loved ones in recent attacks on soft targets in Kebbi, Borno, Zamfara, Niger, Yobe, and Kwara State. I also pay tribute to our brave soldiers who have made the ultimate sacrifice, including Brigadier General Musa Uba. Okay, we saw the live stream of his shooting. Not the live stream, but the video, where it was actually, his coordinates was compromised and it was being held hostage and later unalived. Those who want to test our resolve should never mistake our restraint for weakness. This administration has the courage and determination to keep the country safe and ensure our citizens live in peace. I sympathize with the families who have lost their loved ones in recent attack on soft targets in Kebbi, Borno, Zamfara, and all of those states. Fellow compatriots, I urge you, to not give in to fears and never succumb to despair. Let's stand together in purpose and strength to defend our freedom and values. Our administration will continue to guarantee peaceful coexistence and preserve our union. I urge all Nigerians to remain calm and vigilant. Report suspicious activity. Cooperate with the security agencies. Hi, Kelly. Welcome to the show. Cooperate with security agencies. We're in this fight together, and together we shall win. May God continue to bless Nigeria and keep our armed forces safe. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So that was his note on the declaration of insecurity national emergency. Okay. And then that's it. Hi, Michael. Welcome to the show. Okay, so that's in a nutshell, that's what it is. I think the House of Representatives is meeting today. Let me just see if there's anything that we need to talk about. And again, yesterday we talked about what happened in Guinea-Bissau, where you have a coup, okay? They had an election and the incumbent was claiming victory, and then the guy running also claimed victory. So at that point in time, the military stepped in. Before I go to what's happening in the house, now they have a military general appointed. This is Azajira giving us the update.
The military in Guinea-Bissau has announced a new leader after seizing power a day before the results of presidential elections were due to be released. General Hortan Ta has been sworn in to oversee what the military says will be a transitional period lasting 1 year. In a public address on Wednesday, senior army officials say they uncovered a plot to rig elections and destabilize the country. The deposed president, Umaro Sissoko Embalo, has been arrested along with other high-ranking officials.
Wow.
Let's go to Nicholas Hack, who's live for us in Dakar in neighbouring Senegal. So where do things stand right now, Nick?
Well, we've heard just from the opposition candidate, Fernando Dias, who released a video statement, and he's in hiding. He said that this was a fabricated coup, and he was the legitimate winner of this election, according to polling reports. So calling this a fake coup to try to hide the truth in the ballots. Now, of course, with the announcement made of Horta and Tam as the new president of transition, that throws this election process all into question. It seems that an election will take place, but at least not in the year to come. But what was interesting is when he was sworn into office, he was surrounded by the top brass of the military, from the army chief to the head of the Air Force, the sea. So he seems to be surrounded and has the legitimacy of the military force. And that's quite an important force inside the country, a country where there's been dozens of coups before, 4 that has been successful, and there's been coups in the last year, last October, and in February again. Marlene?
Nicholas, who stands to gain from this coup?
Yeah, this instability, well, that fuels the lucrative drug trade because Guinea-Bissau, that is on the western point of Africa, is a transit hub for Latin American drug traffickers. According to the United Nations and the United States drug enforcement agencies, you have big cartels like the Sinaloa cartel from Mexico, Venezuela, and Colombia that are active inside the country, as well as criminal gangs from the Balkans that funnel that drug, mostly cocaine, to the booming trade of cocaine in Europe. Bissau stands in between Latin American drug traffickers and European gangs, and they both need the support and the help of the military. In the past, the United States Drugs Enforcement Agency have done operation arresting the head of the naval force in Guinea-Bissau. There's been several former military staff and current officers that are accused of cooperating with the military. And what's interesting is the opposition candidate, the one that's in hiding, Fernando Jose Diaz, he says that he wants to tackle this. He wants to tackle corruption, bring back stability, and bring back a legitimacy to the government in place.
Well, we'll see how that goes.
Many thanks for that. Nicholas Hack there for us in Dhaka.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Unfortunately, our own Goodluck Jonathan, whose foundation, has been on ensuring that there is peace and elections between, leaders in different countries are successful, because that's one of his major strengths, and he's been pushing that effort. It was actually in Guinea-Bissau, and now he's stranded. Okay, he's stranded in Guinea-Bissau, given the coup that happened just yesterday. Okay, Goodluck is stranded in Nigeria because the former president, because the former president, is, what is this? I don't even know what this guy is writing. So in short, he's stranded in Guinea-Bissau, okay? And I think the government should do whatever it is to make sure that he gets back home in one piece. So that's that. A new military general has been announced in Guinea-Bissau. We'll see what happens. That's what happens with Africa not having, we've not been lucky with respect to leadership in Africa for the most part. You can count maybe just a handful of good leaders that Africa has had, but most of the countries in Africa has been challenged with this problem. And that's quite painful. That's quite painful. We showed this yesterday, the moment when the Senate president saw a video of a truck having bullets, dropping while the truck was moving. Let me see if I can play that.
That where these criminals are hiding are going to be cornered off. And the implication of that is that they will strategize. All we should have done is to go into the implementation without making the pronouncement in the public domain. Your Excellency, on this note, I want to appeal to the Chief of Defense Staff, the service chiefs, to be as silent as possible on the...
Sorry, just information as we are discussing here now. Senator Garba has just shown me another video right now happening in Zaria. Today is 26. Yeah. That is along Zaria Sokoto Highway. Today, now,
the bullet was dropping.
The bullets were dropping and on the road. The driver did not know and was still going, and the bullets were dropping. I hope he has been apprehended.
Yeah, Jonathan went there to conduct a peaceful election. So where's the peace now? Yeah, I mean, it's there's a limit to what he can do. It's difficult. And then he goes there as just an observer, right? So again, there's a limit to what he can do. Right now, I think you should just be concerned on how to get him back. Hi, Kensley, welcome to the show. Yeah.
So I use this opportunity to call on the Commissioner of Police in Kaduna State to quickly send a team to go and escort the trailer loaded with bullets. Bullets are dropping on the road.
Oh my
People
God.
are crying. I think we should stop further discussion on this matter and go into the prayers.
I don't know if that was confirmed as a bullet meant for the bandits, but it's just quite unfortunate. Yeah. Let me see where things stand. Okay. Okay, I've seen this one. The House of Rep, I think they're meeting today, right? Let's legalize to defend ourselves more, and I think that's very important. I also saw that. Yeah, let me go to the live session. Let me see. Okay, so everything we have there, this was the Thursday plenary session. Okay, this is Wednesday. Okay, so there's another session that happened today. Let me just see if I can just watch some of it, and then we can move on. Okay, now what's happening? This is buffering. We've been here for 30 minutes, nothing happening. Some of them just chilling. Okay, just chilling. Let me see. Okay.
138. I want to wish you fruitful observations. God, you are seated.
I don't know why this is
Senator Nekan Bassi, here from my constituents. Several correspondence have been exchanged between my predecessor and my humble self between now Renaissance African Energy Company on this matter in efforts to get him reinstated, but the case has dragged till today and isn't conclusive. The matter is sub judice, sir. Though with their permission, I can lay it before you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The matter is sub judice?
It's not sub judice.
Okay. You proceed to lay the petition.
Okay, let me.
Your Excellency, I have another petition here.
Okay.
From my constituents, who is on suspension, Provost of Federal College of Education, Ibianibo. He feels and he thinks his suspension is not justifiable, and he wants the Senate to look into it.
I mean, I don't know how that impacts national life. Okay. Let me just move on.
Is to lead the debate on the bill for an act to amend the Nigerian Army University Establishment Act 2020 and for related matters 2025 SB 833. Distinguished colleagues, the Nigerian Army University Bill was established in 2020 as a specialized institution designed to advance research, innovation, capacity building for Nigeria's armed forces, while it also served as the civilian population. Over the years, the bill was read for the first principal act, require updating to bring its governance structure in alignment with established standards of Nigerian public university and to ensure clearer administrative coordination between university and the armed forces in the military education. Mr. President does not clearly harmonize the federal universities and reinforces supervisory role of the Ministry of Education. And Mr. President, let me add, provide for interest representation and ensure participation of the host community. This structure ensures that the council benefits norms guiding federal distinguished colleagues,
Okay, I'm gonna move on.
continues
But just a second. You will take the floor after him. SAN.
Thank you, Mr. President, and my distinguished colleagues. My name is Kaka Shehu Lawan, and I represent the very good and resilient people of Borno Central Senatorial to Mohammed Ali. I am the closest senatorial district to Borno South.
Okay.
My constituents are also beneficiaries of the university. In addition, I rather align myself with the mover and then the eloquent contribution of distinguished Senator Mohamed Monguno, and urge my respect.
Especially more national values, civic edited grievances. Why?
So this is where they put, if you look at this is where they put Natasha now. See where she's sitting now, bro. Yeah, after the whole fight. So they actually moved that towards the end of the seat. I just saw
the commission will require funding to operate. The economic and human cost of recurring ethnic conflicts, far major crisis, can save billions of naira and thousands of lives. Mr. President, distinguished children and citizens, and this
capacity building, I wonder how they would do it without power and whether this will address the issue of Boko Haram in the ranks. Yeah, I mean, I guess they just have to do something. So that's why they're going ahead with this. But yeah, that's the right question. I think there are fundamental things that needs to be resolved in Nigeria. Number one, security. I mean, before it used to just be power, soft power and things we align. But now you have to solve power, you have to solve security. Those are the two major things, and then possibly infrastructure. Before you could have any major jump in production.
Stability of our democracy. Finally, by passing this unity over hostility.
I don't know why.
Abia South. I have nothing against this bill. Electricity Regulatory Commission, NEC, already there. So we can have two acronyms in any law that we. Is that you make it. I'm talking about the heading as Senator Abaribe has instigated me. We have various ethnic groups, but I never heard of national ethnic. And we cannot event one. There is no national ethnic. We have various ethnic groups. There is not one.
A kind of an entity with a staff, office, and everything. I think that's what he's talking. Is it not the same thing that Absalom Committee is doing?
Are they talking about
reconciliation and the rest?
No. The one that I'm aware of is the one that they normally show up at the eve of every election to sign peace accord, etc., etc.
Welcome to the show.
But sir, to be honest, I wish we have unlimited resources to create bodies, to appoint directors, executive and non-executive. Unfortunately,
because indeed, if we recall, during President Obasanjo's tenure, he set up a human rights violations investigations commission, otherwise known as
ethics.
The Oputa panel.
Yeah, so what they call it?
If we had
ethics,
a commission charged with
exactly, but I don't know why they are calling it ethnic.
Reconciling communities or ethnic groups or people that have differences. Some of the crises that we are having will be addressed. So for this reason, Mr. President, I urge my colleagues to support the second reading of this bill. Any other issues concerning the title of the bill can be addressed during public hearing. I so submit.
Okay.
Thank you. Dismissed colleagues, those in support that the bill to establish the National Ethnic and Reconciliation Commission.
They keep saying ethnic.
To prevent, manage, and resolve ethnic conflicts, promote national cohesion, foster peace building, and for related matters, that this bill to establish
welcome to the show.
A National Ethnic and Reconciliation Commission.
Yeah, so I think it's ethnic.
You were saying something.
So you create a commission again to do what? Man, I don't know, bro. I don't even know if that's the right thing to do. Right. At this point. Okay. Just make sure that the laws are good and the laws are being enforced. If the laws are being enforced, then again, if you do wrong, okay, you follow the law. Imagine we're trying to have all these, like, for example, look at a country that has so many ethnic groups. Then what then happens? Reconciliation
I'm not
Commission.
opening it.
Okay.
No, it has not completed. Hold on.
Exactly. Cause more rift and then
Is,
give their people more,
Senator
more
Patrick saying to
position.
President. Mr.
More
President, I
position,
have
right?
something to say on this.
Okay.
I am feeling that we are only.
Are you for or against?
Well, I'm not for totally because I want to give
If
you
you're not
information.
for,
We
then
have.
you speak out, because really, I was listening to the this thing there. If I had my own view, I would say that we don't need a national ethnic and reconciliation commission.
We have
and reconciliation. Now we ethnic groups will set up anyone that is required. But I'm saying your colleagues here are either afraid or they don't. Nigeria does not need to the colleague who brought the bill.
This institute, we can strengthen
that be set up as a law in Nigeria. Say aye. Those again say nay. The nays have it.
Okay, good.
And very distinguished colleagues, the third order of the day is the presentation and consideration on the order page. Akwa Ibom. Honorable Noli Nkechi Gloria, PhD, Anambra. Babangida Amadu Bruno, Ekiti. Imo. Lawal Yao Roni.
Oh, National Orientation Agency is already there.
Ruth.
Okay,
Jumei,
exactly.
Ango. Kaduna. Muhammad Awa Nayab. Kano. Honorable Anas Isa Katsina. Abubakar Atiku. Dr. Ibrahim Abdullahi. Kwara. Abdul
Okay, I'm gonna move on. I can't be. We're watching this.
Verifications by from distinguished senators regarding their respective qualifications, experiences, suitability.
Since colleagues, the motion have been moved and seconded that we do resolve into committee of the whole to continue.
Okay. I mean, it was meant to be a big watch. So
Madaki, Mrs. Madai.
Yeah, is that not why we had the ICPC and then we had the EFCC and then there were always this argument that why can't both of them be fused into one body? But I think Obasanjo needed the EFCC just to personally guard its affairs at the time.
Is hereby approved. Distinguished colleagues, will the Senate approve the nomination of Mrs. Eunice Thomas from Akwa Ibom State for appointment as Commissioner of the Federal Character Commission?
Well, I think she was there yesterday. When they did the security stuff. She was there talking about on Chanya, that issue that went viral, calling for justice and all that the Senate should look into it. I didn't really play it here yesterday, but I'm not sure she's there today. At least Akpabio can focus on the real work. I'm just saying it's not
Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The appointment of Eunice Thomas from Akwa Ibom State as Federal Character Commissioner is hereby approved. Distinguished colleagues, will the Senate approve the nomination of Honorable Noli Nkechi Gloria for appointment as Commissioner in the Federal Character Commission? Okay. Those in favor say Guana from Bauchi State.
These are just appointments. Let me move on.
EDC as Commissioner in the Federal Character Commission is
Federal Character
Commission approved as Commissioner.
So
Abdullahi Aminu Tafida as a Commissioner in the Federal Character Commission is hereby approved.
This is 27th of November. Will the Senate
approve the nomination of Comrade?
Is it my eyes? It seems like Akpabio's dressing keeps changing, right? Like it was on this is another one, right? So is this just more, and they said it's live, right? Thursday. probably distraction not available. I mean, yeah, at least we've not had any drama of recent. So, and today again, yeah, we've not had any major drama. It's been a lot of theater.
The Federal Character Commission. Is this a true reflection of what?
Oh, okay. So federal character
in the Federal Character Commission.
Okay.
So appointment as commissioner.
Okay. So
Mr. President.
I think today was just more of appointment. Yesterday was we did cover the main stuff about security and all that, and that was it. I just saw this thing. Nollywood actress loses lead role over body type in viral video. The 100-second clip show crew, possibly the directors and producer, informing the upset woman she lacks enough curves. Wow. Let me listen. What is this?
Come now, let's read. But what I don't understand is why they just have to change it. I had this script for over 2 weeks. Now, getting on set, the director is now saying that I cannot play the role.
Okay.
That I'm not going to play the village girl, the maid. Why did they have to change it? She's not saying I cannot carry it. It's my role. The character you are playing. Hello. You cannot carry it. Why?
What?
Because my nyash cannot carry the role. So they have to swap my distance too, because the character she's playing.
What the heck?
Okay, no, this is not fair. How can you play classic girl? So I cannot play classic girl because I have nyan, because I don't have big nyan.
That's the problem with social media, and that is where we are right now. The kind of content that is coming out nowadays is just stuff to just make people keep scrolling. And if you don't do stuff that is extreme, you won't go viral. They've been able to get, the algorithm to push things that people want to see. And that's the challenge that we're facing. Okay?
If not your video, does it matter? Yes,
I said does it matter?
It matters. No, seriously, I'm not sure I'm going to play this. This is too much. No, what do you mean, wait? Which character did they give you? Are you not the one that's playing the village girl, the girl from the village?
This itself looks more like a skit than even whatever it is that they're trying to produce. I bet you this will go more viral than the whole thing when it comes out. And I'm not even sure maybe this is even a skit that they're just trying to do. I mean, they're just saying that, it went viral because of that. This might even be a skit in itself.
So why are you acting innocent? It's not your fault.
No, that's
What?
He's already late.
This man cannot leave this long. Okay, director, so what am I supposed to do? I beg, go and read lines for the classy babe.
Go and read lines, let's shoot. I will leave here. I'm not sure that the beat actors.
Just go.
I go.
Go.
Wow, what the hell?
But you married now, you get the nyash. Guys, come, let's read and shoot.
No, this is crazy. No, I think this is a skit. No, this is more of a skit. I don't think this happened. I think I don't know. I might be wrong, but I think this is really a skit. Yeah, I think this is really a skit. I mean, what do you think? Yeah, let me see. I have some stuffs in here. There's actually, I don't want to see this. Tinubu has bowed to bandit ADC. Tinubu. Now, ADC, who happens to be partly APC and PDP, are coming out to say Tinubu has bowed to bandit. ADC, Tinubu is doing business with terrorists, sign of failed country. Let me see what's happening here. Okay, so this is ADC. This was 21 hours ago. Okay. Now the article is a full member. Let's see what they have to say. Erufai is back.
From Christ Apostolic Church, Okeshegun, Kwara State.
Okay.
And the school children taken from government girls.
Yeah, it must be a skit, right? Yeah, I agree.
State. We are delighted that these citizens can finally reunite with their families.
No, it's a joke.
We must reiterate, while we are delighted that these citizens can finally reunite with their families, we must reiterate our long-standing position that these abductions should never have occurred in the first place.
Okay.
If the government were alive to its constitutional responsibilities.
No, I agree.
Responsibilities.
No, I agree.
What the country is witnessing today is a consequence of an administration distracted by politics and behaving like a democratic and behaving less like a democratic government and more like an occupying force.
Okay.
It is telling that it took a chastening comment from President Donald Trump to provoke even the slightest response from this government to the problem of insecurity in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Yet, even as we welcome the safe return of the victims, we remain deeply concerned about the opaque and troubling manner in which their release was secured.
Okay.
The conflicting accounts coming from different government officials make it clear that the federal government is not being honest with Nigerians about the circumstances surrounding the release of the abducted victims. We strongly believe that this administration is negotiating deals with insurgents. It is
unfortunately, I would agree that, because you know what, they just released those guys. There was really no combat. There was really nothing. So I think there is a sustainable channel between these people. And there are a lot of questions, like going through what the Senate, the Senate was yesterday, they themselves were as confused as every other person. Even to the fact that they say, oh, we know them, who are they, but we know them, we know where they are. So why are they not taking actions to ensure that this insecurity menace is taken care of? Again, this is ADC. The only problem is the Amechi is in the building. Yeah. I mean, Amechi said he never stole a dime, right? Nigeria is not a country, it's a joke, right? The spokesperson should comport himself well.
Especially alarming to hear the Inspector General of Police state that the perpetrators of the Kwara Church attack were not arrested just because they came out voluntarily to surrender the victims.
Okay.
Equally troubling is the comment attributed to the presidential spokesman, Bayon Onuga, suggesting that the abductees were released simply because the government and security operatives asked them to do so. This raises serious questions. Is the Nigerian government paying ransom to insurgents? What exactly was exchanged for the so-called surrender of weapons by the kidnappers? And if these bandits truly surrendered weapons, what prevents them from simply acquiring new ones and continuing their criminal enterprise?
Yeah.
If they are not going to be arrested and brought to justice, what happened to the people they shot and killed in cold blood? Where is justice for the families of those victims if their murderers are allowed to go scot-free because government needs a quick win to celebrate? The ADC is deeply concerned that if negotiation with bandits has become the government strategy for tackling insurgency and the surge in kidnappings, then Nigeria is on a dangerous and misguided path. It is the approach of an administration searching for shortcuts instead of confronting the problem decisively.
Oh, is there news? Sheikh Gumi spokesman was found to have profited from ransom fund. Really? Is there a video? Wow. Are these bandits Nigeria? I think there's going to be a mix of both. I know people like those in the government are saying that most of them are not from Nigeria. They moved in from when Libya fell and all that. But I think that yeah. So again, there is the real sponsors is who I think they should go after. Those ones might be in Nigeria, they may be outside of Nigeria. I mean, Jonathan said it, that they've infiltrated his government as far back as 2015. So do you think they left when Jonathan left? No, they've been in the system. So again, they might say that a lot of them are not Nigerians, but I think it's a mix. It's a mix of both. The party name always tricked me to thinking it's AD Camp. Yeah, that name looks kind of interesting. We'll see. I don't even know why they choose that ADC. I mean, ADC is close to APC, right? But again, it's already an existing party, though. They just took it over. That was why Dumebi Kachiku was kind of annoyed, because they took it over without even consulting him. And yeah, infiltration is going on. Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. And at every point in time, when you have all these inactions, these guys just keep infiltrating and they keep spreading. And now it's getting to a point where, I mean, we'll wait. Let's see what happens with all these new directives that the president has given. I think he should have given that also since day one, but it is what it is.
Appeasing insurgents in this manner, the government is in effect expanding the banditry economy.
Yeah, it's a big economy.
The bandits returned to the same Ekiti local government in Kwara State the very next day after the release of the churchgoers, abducting 11 more people in Ishakwa town in Kwara State.
Yeah, I saw
this
that.
This pattern shows clearly that a system that focuses on rescuing victims without bringing perpetrators to justice only reinforces the vicious cycle of terror.
Wow.
Closure of schools. A few days ago, in response to the escalating abduction of children, the federal government ordered the closure of 47 unity schools across the country. Several state governments have followed suit, shutting down schools and sending children home. While the government may consider this the safest short-term options, it sends a dangerous message to terrorists.
Wow.
A government that quietly negotiates with insurgents and then shut down schools to avoid further kidnappings has in effect conceded ground to terror. By closing schools, the Tinubu administration is reinforcing the ideology of Boko Haram, which was built on a claim that Western education is forbidden and signaling weaknesses where strength is required. This government is effectively telling the world that it cannot protect Nigerian school children or safeguard our public institutions.
Wow.
The government is admitting that it can no longer take responsibility for the security of children entrusted in their care.
Yeah. I mean, when you say don't open schools, that means you've already surrendered. But at the same time, there's also an argument to that to say that, you know what, if you are operating, then you also have to consider the security situation. The government should ensure that everybody can, can operate without any security problem, but that's not what we have in Nigeria as of today. It's quite unfortunate.
What we are witnessing is the creeping paralysis of our society and the gradual shutting down of our country. Terrorists are now dictating government decisions and reshaping the future of our children. What kind of nation abandons its children to kidnappers and then closes their schools in surrender? How long will we continue to keep our children at home? And by what measure will government decide that it is finally safe for children to go back to schools? At this moment, no one, not even government, appears to know the exact number of school children kidnapped in the past week. This alone is a damning indictment of an administration that claims to take the security of its citizens seriously. How can the number of abducted children or those still in captivity be the subject of confusion in a country facing a national security crisis? What is evident is that this government's alarming incompetence has become a security threat in itself. The federal government must immediately determine the precise number of school children being held captive following the recent abductions in Niger, Kebbi, and other states. It must also inform Nigerians of the concrete steps being taken to secure their release, along with a clear timeline for action.
Yeah.
These innocent children must not spend a day longer in captivity. The tragedy of the Chibok girls remain a deep scar on the nation's conscience, a reminder of a country that fails its own daughters. History must not be allowed to repeat itself. The government must bring back our children now. Safe Schools Initiative and the way forward. Even more troubling is the government's quiet abandonment of the Safe Schools Initiative and the Safe Schools program, both of which were designed to strengthen security around learning environments and prevent exactly the kind of mass abductions we are witnessing today. These programs were not perfect, but they represented a commitment to protect children where they learn and grow. Today, that commitment has been discarded. The government must now choose leadership over fear. If schools have been shut because they are unsafe, then the logical response is not to retreat, but to reinforce security in our schools. We call on the federal government to immediately deploy the Civil Defense Corps to all the federal unity schools so that children can safely return to the classroom without further delay. Protecting our schools is not optional. It is a constitutional and
once
moral
you pay
responsibility.
bandits, it's a
The
big
more we
booming business
capitulate,
right now.
the more ground we lose as a nation. Every single day that schools remain closed, terrorists grow bolder, communities grow more fearful, and Nigeria drifts further from the promise of security and stability. A country that cannot protect its own children cannot protect its future. The ADC urges the government to act decisively, transparently, and responsibly. Reopen the schools and secure the schools. Bring our children home now and show Nigerians and the world that this nation will not bow to terror. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Do you
have any questions? Well, I mean, you know the parameters for a failed state, so I know you know the answer to the question you're asking me.
I mean, it's so bad that the whole country is just, in disarray that you have to go and bring a David Mark, in the formation of a new party. Bandit border ransom wasn't paid. Yeah, the ransom and the banditry economy right now, I would believe, is one of the fastest growing industry in Nigeria. I mean, these guys get so much money that they go on TikTok and they even stream that they're getting so much money from kidnapping and from causing chaos and maiming people. I mean, it's that bad. And again, the name of Sheikh's spokesman to Komamu, thanks for that. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? And this is documented. Witness testify Mamu received 50 million naira from the train attack leader. It's called finder's fee. Commission. The witness testified under alias, they didn't tell us his name, said Mamu bypassed an official government committee to negotiate directly with the terrorists, led by Shugaba, collecting ransom for the March 28, 2022 Abuja-Kaduna train attack that left dozens hostage. Shugaba paid Mamu 59 million naira from the proceeds. So if he's getting 50 million naira from just that one incident, they need to pick this guy. Sheikh Gumi, they need to pick that guy and be ready for whatever reprisal attack would happen from picking him. This is just one incident, 50 head. And how much is their minimum wage? 70K. That's why they can recruit people in their multitudes. The real people doing this nonsense are the guys that are in the upper echelon of the society. You could talk about, people coming from overseas. You could talk about the people that are mining, the big contractors are also from overseas. But again, there is no way they can have their root in Nigeria if they don't have locals doing their dirty works for them. How would you make a 50 million naira from just one attack? And what did they use it to do? Shigama paid 50 million from the proceeds. An investigator found large catch sum, illegal guns, luxurious cars at his properties. Mamu, denies the charges of terrorism, financing, and obstruction, was arrested in 2022 en route to Egypt. His lawyer challenged the evidence. During cross-examination, the trial is ongoing in Federal High Court to uncover details of his alleged role and sudden lifestyle. So this is November 26 again. So this actually was being investigated. A Department DSS witness has told the court that alleged terror negotiator Tuko Mamu received 50 million. Wow. And he serves as a media aide and spokesman to Ahmad Gumi. They need to pick all these guys up. They need to pick them up. Wow. Thanks for pointing me to that.
A nation that's not able to protect its children, because what are those things that you look for in a state? A state that cannot even keep schools open. A state that rather shut down schools and send children home rather than protect them. I mean, what we just witnessed in the shutting down of the 47 unity schools is just a latest episode in what has become a pattern in northern Nigeria, So many children have been kept out of school for indeterminate long period of time in northern Nigeria. So what we are saying is that this administration is bowing to terror. The terrorists can sense the vulnerability of the Nigerian state, and they believe that our country is there for the taking. Yeah. So this is the time that government needs to show strength. But what they are doing, because they need quick win to celebrate, because they are obsessed with politics. So what they are doing is negotiating with terrorists in order to be able to celebrate headlines that they have rescued the children, rather than actually going after the insurgents who have turned our country to a killing field.
Yeah, I agree.
It is shocking. That's why I say the government is not addressing the fundamental issues. The government is not behaving like they understand the enormity of the security challenges that this country faced. I mean, a governor of his state was alleging that the security that was mounted in the school, someone called them and demobilized them. And shortly after the ban, who demobilized the security that was provided to the school? The federal government is not asking these questions. Rather, what they are doing is doing business with terrorists and negotiating with them. We also saw videos of terrorists celebrating and even joking and playing with children. Why is the federal government of Nigeria not going after?
Did you guys see that video? I don't know if it's true, but there was this video from Castina. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everyone in the United States. Banditry must be resolved. Atiku is not safe too. Yeah, he is. Oh, he's not. He's not. He's not. All of them. And it's cash, right? It's cash. It's just crazy. But again, did you see that video from Castina where they said that they came to kidnap people from a village, and that those villagers, they actually know the family members of those kidnappers and those bandits. So when they didn't have money, I don't even know how they expect people living in various difficult situations to be able to raise all those monies. So because those guys didn't have money, they went to kidnap their own family, the family member of the bandits. And call the bandit that, don't worry, don't release them. We have your family member. If anything happens to them, we're also going to do the same thing to your family member in our captivity. And then after a while, those bandits gave the people they kidnapped 30,000 to travel back to their home. It's just crazy. It's really crazy.
They know where they are. They know where they send officials to them to negotiate. Why are they not going after them? Now, the question you are asking, it is obvious that the information within the Nigerian security system is getting to the terrorists. Why is the federal government of Nigeria not auditing its own system?
What are you talking about?
So there is a whole lot of things wrong. It's not just about what we see. There is a whole lot of things going on. And when you listen to the spokespersons of government and they talk to us as if we are foolish people. I mean, can you imagine the Bayo Ononuga saying that the victims were released just because the government asked them nicely? Yeah. I mean, it shows that the government is not serious and they are insulting our intelligence. So for us as a...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, the press people around Tinubu, I don't even know how to place them. I don't know how to place them. This is a Ononuga interview. It's not nice at all. I don't even know.
38 worshippers at that church in Eruku, Kwara State were rescued.
Well, I think after the incident happened, and the DSS and the military were involved in the rescue efforts. I think they got in contact with the bandits to release those people unarmed. And I think finally on Sunday, they were able to get them out unarmed.
So they basically know who they are.
Well,
and, because when you say rescue them, did they actually physically go there and get them out?
The security people, at the risk of revealing how they do their work, they do have a way of tracking these people.
Right.
So they know what's going on at any point in time. What sometimes restrains them from going after them is the risk of collateral damage.
Of course.
They go about abducting our people and they use them as shield. So that they
cash only. Yeah, they post everything on TikTok.
Them, they need to be sure that they are not using our people as a kind of a shield.
But if the government did not attack them in order to rescue these people, how did they get them released? Because I mean, it seems almost...
they got in contact with them.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is
so they know them.
Almost perverse for the people to abduct people and then a few days later
release them. They have a way of contacting them.
You mean they pay them money?
Not paying them. They know the risk. If they keep those people with them and they're saying release them, they know that the next thing will be for the government to embark on.
This is Ononuga. Bayo Ononuga is one of the spokesman of the president. I don't know.
Attack their base.
Yeah, but they killed people.
But
they know what these guys are.
That makes
if
them
you attack their base, you can kill those.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
But I mean, what people are curious to know, because it is not the government who are directly under threat. It's the people, and the people have to know how you go about doing these things in order to shore up their own defense.
I think that's left for the security people to discover. What I know is that
they have the intelligence.
They contacted them to release those they have abducted.
And they just acquiesced, did they?
Because they know the consequence of not acquiescing to government demand, that they should let those people go, so that. Because they know that the consequence is that the government will come and pummel them.
But does that mean that some kind of a deal was done then to say, because I mean those people killed people, so technically they are, I mean, they should be arrested, tried and prosecuted and face the full wrath of the law.
The first thing that government has to do is to get those people freed.
Right.
And government has achieved its objective. As of next level action, it's left for the security people to take. I don't want to second guess them. They know what they have to do. They've taken the precaution to make sure that at least
he's doing his job. His job is to lie.
People from there.
Lie for the president.
So the next line of action is left with. I don't want to be talking about.
And that is all the people who were abducted.
All of them.
Yeah,
right. They're all 38 of them. Right.
Yeah, people are in a very vulnerable state right now. I mean, and it's crazy. Let me finish this and then just want to look at what's happening. This Burna Boy stuff is also trending. It's really crazy. I mean, there are two different schools of thought, but let me finish with this one and then I'll go on to that one.
Party who are saying that this government is overwhelmed and they have demonstrated incompetence in dealing with the issues. They lack the political will. Because in the last 2 years, what you have seen that they are obsessed with politics. Even now, while Nigerian children are still in captivity, we don't even know how many children. While insurgents run riot across our country, what did our president do? Appointing campaign manager for 2027. So it shows a government that does not even care about the people.
Yeah, right. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, that's it. I don't know what you guys think about this Burna Boy issue. So apparently, he's been in the news. He's having his tour in the United States, but yeah. So there's a news that I actually sold out his Minneapolis Amory show again. Burna Boy messed up. So this is just Aquila of Kogi saying Burna Boy messed up, no doubt. But watching the internet tear him apart like he's not human ought. He offended, yes, but forgiveness is how we grow as a people. I guess this is his fan. Let's correct him without destroying him completely. Everyone deserves a chance to learn. But people are not taking it. People are like, you know what? The Burna Boy is trending because Nigerian influencers are struggling to redeem his image after Americans threatened to cancel the singer after he humiliated a fan recovering from a trauma. So again, I think what happened is that I don't send you to be my fan. Okay, so again, he sent out a couple, okay, and because one of them was actually sleeping in the show. I mean, he was sleeping, he wasn't disturbing the peace of the show, but he was sleeping, so he did send them away. And the lady he then asked the man and the lady to leave because it pisses him how anyone would be sleeping while he performed. Again, they paid for it. The couple were initially reluctant, but Burna insisted that he wouldn't perform any other song until they left. With all eyes on them, they were embarrassingly escorted out. Americans didn't take it lightly because it turned out that the lady had just lost her daughter's dad. And it was the first time she stepped out, attempting to move on from the trauma. Again, I can't confirm that story. But according to the person claiming to be her, she added that Burna Boy arrived late. I learned she arrived late, like hours late. So she was tired and could not have handled it better instead of humiliating her, despite the money she paid. Okay, according to reports, Burna Boy other show ticket also tanked. The sales tanked. Burna Boy doubled down and called it agenda, and he doesn't care. Eminem also condemned his action. Burna Boy reacted saying he didn't care and that he's not a stripper. You just throw money out or do whatever you want. And even cancer survivor don't sleep at his show. Again, that was it. It's been 2 weeks. Yeah, more Americans are still speaking against him. Today, some Twitter influencers suddenly started speaking nicely about Burna Boy, but Twips clocked it as PR. Burna's fan insists that it's indeed an agenda because it's still selling out venues. Other things is just a stunt ahead of a new project rollout. This is not the first time Burna Boy is kicking out fan. He returned a fan ticket and bounced him because he wasn't passing the vibes check. Okay, so I don't know what you guys make of this. It's just normal drama and celebrity
this shit because we're fucking doing it and we love it. Doing this shit because we're fucking doing it and we love it, you understand? So when I stand up here and I see you over there with your girl sleeping in front of me, this is me the fuck off, man. You understand? So please take that the fuck off. Fast.
Oh, that colorful language, right?
Bro, I'm not doing no more song until you take her home, bro. Real life. Can you take the fucking piss, bro?
I mean, I don't know. So they were waiting for the guy. So apparently he said he wasn't going to perform until the person leaves the concert venue.
Wallahi, I'm not doing another song to go home. Wallahi.
So I guess they were putting pressure on the... Yeah, the guy was like, you know what, let's get out of here. And I like they did some kind of apology, but... Okay, so she left. I mean, she left the concert, and yeah, that's it. So let me see. Okay, so that's one, and then yeah, so this was a response.
If you're still, and I'm gonna tell you this, if you're still buying Burna Boy tickets in 2025, 2026, and so forth, you're weird. Because why is a woman who spent her own money to go to a concert kicked out and humiliated and embarrassed in front of a crowd of hundreds of people, probably even more, from Burna Boy on his microphone telling her to leave because she fell asleep during the concert? She spent her own money. Who cares? That's like saying, I just bought this sweater. And then I agree. The sweater the day I bought it. And then now the company's trying to be like, oh, you're banned from ever buying from the company because you cut the sweater. I bought the sweater with my own money. I can do what I want with this sweater. I think we're missing the plot. And especially as a woman, to continue supporting Burna Boy, even throughout the years of his weird and very creepy, misogynistic, just very, like, abusive behavior, you're weird. It gets to a point. On top of that, the woman came out that she's battling depression because the father of her daughter passed away, and she went to the concert to have a little fun in her life for once. And he took forever to come out, apparently. And she fell asleep, even if there was no reason behind it, even if she wasn't battling depression, even if she was just fell asleep at the concert, who cares?
Yeah, but I'm not to get sense like that. Yeah, I agree.
But you are going to get on a public with your microphone thousands of people, hundreds of people,
Okay,
and
so
humiliate her and kick her
yeah,
out
so
of the
again, that's another side to it, and they felt like, you know what, that's just it. So first frame was 837, but agenda people will post this and say that it didn't sell out the show, but we'll show you the real concert. Burna Boy sold out 20K capacity American Airlines Center in Dallas, and at 1 a.m. the whole airport energy was something else. Only Burna Boy can do this. So again, the pro Burna Boy gang are saying that this is just more of an agenda to make him look bad. Okay, and then I mean, it is what it is. Internet drama would not stop. And that's that. Okay, let me see what's happening to Goodluck Jonathan. It's still trending. Okay, I hope the Nigerian government contacts him. Okay, that's fine. Let me see this. The country is burning. First Lady is inviting senators to come and eat nice meal. Yeah, I heard this yesterday, where, you know, there was an invitation sent that they're gonna have something like a banquet for the First Lady. Okay, that's that about that. Let me look at my bookmark. Let me see if I have anything. Okay, she decided to follow her husband to where she was going and she hid in the car truck. Okay, I've seen this one. I'm not Jewish stuff. We've actually looked at this one. Breaking: NDLA storms a silent billionaire hideout in Lagos and busts alleged drug baron Oyeka Chipios Nwanagu alongside 5 of his foot soldiers. Let me look at this. Wow. Wow. Wow, that's a lot of drugs, bro. Yeah, it's still Jonathan is still in Guinea-Bissau. Hopefully they release him. Okay, this is okay. Wow, that's full truckload. You won't be able to see that. So apparently they went to a bust operation. Okay. Wow. That's a lot of drugs. Allegedly, though. Allegedly. Okay, let me move on. Using Hausa people as kidnappers is not okay at all. We can talk about Nigeria issues without demonizing a whole tribe. Next time, the producers should use another language. Arewa is peaceful. Okay, but we know that the whole insecurity thing is stemming from the north. That doesn't mean that we don't have pockets of violence in southwest, southeast, and other places. But in terms of sheer magnitude, the Fulani herdsmen terrorists, you know, they are actually a massive number.
I watched the head, and you know what? I have something to say.
Okay.
Using Hausa people as kidnapper is not okay. It's not okay at all.
Mm-hmm.
It feeds stereotypes that hurts people. Arewa is full of culture, dignity, and not crime. We can talk about Nigeria's issues without demonizing a whole tribe. Hausa is not the language for kidnappers. It is the language of murders, peace, and prayers. We are tired of seeing Arewa painted as the villain. We are tired of carrying burden that is not ours. Our children are being taken, our communities are bleeding, and still yet films choose to blame the innocent. We deserve fair representations. We deserve respect. We deserve to be seen as humans.
Okay.
Arewa is hurting, not harmful. Stop the stereotypes. Arewa is peace. Arewa is dignity.
Yeah, but nobody was attacking Arewa there. Yeah, Baraba is being just... Yeah, I mean, I think that's known. I think he's... everybody knows that he's just full of it, right? In the north, they have Hausa Fulani's Kanuri language used by the kidnappers. Exactly. So again, I think she should be more interested in having a solution to these problems. I think she should be more interested in having a solution instead of the stereotype. Like, again, you know, there's been a lot of school of thought with respect to this movie. Unfortunately, and also so many, what's it called again? So many conspiracies also with respect to it. But one thing that you cannot deny is number one, we have banditry. We have headmen used as bandits too. We have clashes between the farmers. Why not they speaking English? Exactly. You should focus on what your governor, you should be calling out your governor, not the filmmaker. Not the filmmaker. Tell that to people who have lost lives, from all these terrorist activities.
Arewa is culture. Arewa is not harmful.
They rejected education, right?
So our dear producers, please, anytime we want to shoot this kind of film next time, may una they use other languages. We have over 200 and something languages in Nigeria. Why must it be Hausa? Why must you use Hausa? Why? Anya magana kun ce wai ai akwai wani yaren.
Okay.
A cikin yaren da suke yan cikin kidnapper guda ɗaya ne.
And this does not help the whole situation. Let me read this. This doesn't help the situation at all. It doesn't help the whole situation, because when you should be focused on making sure your community is safe, calling out the politicians, you are attacking the messenger. And again, I'm not saying the messenger is perfect. She has to then speak the language. Yeah.
Energy, yaren Yarabanci. Ƙarya kuke duk abin da kuke mun sani. Why must you use Hausa language for the kidnappers? Use other languages now.
Like
Yoruba.
Yoruba.
Language food here. Why not use them? Say Hausa. Ai magana kun ce kuma ba mu gane film din bane ba. Ba wani nan. We understood everything in the film. We are not blind, we are not blind. Next time, we want to use other language. Keep Hausa language out of anything that has to do with all this this thing we they do. How about that and out of everything that is happening, because you are still painting Hausa language black. When I still paint Hausa language black.
She looks like one. Or possibly she's the daughter of a rich guy or a politician in the north. Yeah. So the thing is this, in Nigeria, most especially in the north, okay, you have the elites. They don't face a lot of these problems. They're living in the city. They have good stuff. Yeah, she speaks good English, good pidgin too. Yeah. So again, they're like two poles apart. Yeah, you could talk about there are a lot of Albajiris in the north, but they are elites. They are well taken care of. They can do whatever they want. Sharia doesn't really apply to them because they're not poor.
Now, Abba, enough is enough. Mona, leave us alone. The actors and all the people that
language is outside.
Well. They did so well. But the person who writes that script, you not do well. You not try for we Hausa people. You not try for us.
Okay. Yeah, I just saw this. I was like, okay, fine. Yeah. Okay. A lady expresses her frustration after her brother reached out saying the wife was sick and needed hospital care. She sent 50K only for him to say he expected 500 to 1 million since she's working abroad. Sadly, she works in Egypt as an house help, earning 230K a month and sleeping in the kitchen. Wow. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Let me see.
This video, you can see my eyes. You tell that this eye is so stressed. I've been crying since yesterday.
Okay.
And not because of what my brother told me that makes me to cry.
You won't leave her.
I did what I'm not supposed to do. I came from a family of 7. I'm the last born.
Okay.
Where am I supposed to be? Am I not supposed to be enjoying my life? And my brother's wife got sick. And he asked me, he pleaded with me that he needed money to take his wife to hospital.
Okay.
And I sent this man 50K. 50,000, that is what I have. I'm the last born. I still have other siblings. I have my sisters and my other brothers that are supposed to at least contribute. Last born don't bring 50K. This is what my brother sent me. Just 50,000.
Wow, he's not grateful. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna move on. Yeah.
For me because it's okay, it's good.
Thank you.
Well, my own mouth is big, as you said, big things. As you can see, I'm an expensive lady. You understand? So I just feel that, like, you're not up to my standard, you understand? Sorry to say, like, you're a fashion designer. So before you sew like 2 or 3 clothes to meet up with my monthly allowance, 1 million naira. Give me 100K, I'm 50K, not surprised.
Okay.
So,
the one you tried to spell now?
Louis Vuitton.
No, the other one.
the glasses on that you're trying to spell. You don't want to mention the brand.
Okay, Nike. Yes, I'm wearing Nike also. So
your pants trouser you say is 450. Where did you buy it from?
I bought it. I told you earlier that Arike Luxurious. To like go to this Zlatan store to get this Zlatan store to get a shirt for myself.
Yeah, Lady Sparks' reaction after explaining on Game Show why a male fashion designer cannot meet a personal stuff. Okay. God sent Namdi to Sokoto to deliver them and he has started preaching the gospel to them. Okay, big charge bill. Okay, let me see. Yeah, that's that, brother. Let me see this one. Okay. To admission. Okay. I want to play this stuff. It had to do, it's a 4-year-old video, and I think it might actually explain some of the things that is happening, you know, with respect to insecurity in Nigeria. And this is it here. So this is for I was arrested. Okay. Attacked. Because I requested for weapons to fight Boko Haram. How I was arrested because I requested for weapons to fight Boko Haram. Let me play this.
My base. The base I was supposed to protect.
This is a 4-year-old.
We were at Beneshek advancing, and the call came to my commander that Giwa Barak was under attack. That same 14th of April, that was the same day Boko Haram attacked Chibok girls. It was a bloody operation. On the 20th of August, 2012, after my enlistment, I passed out from training on the 17th of December. After that, I was transferred. You know, I was posted to 101 Battalion, Kanji in Niger State. Months after that, I was inducted into the theater fully for the purpose to counter the terrorists, the Boko Haram terrorists terrorizing us in Nigeria. When I got to Maiduguri, to Borno State, Maiduguri, as the journey went on, my first task in Borno State was town patrol. After my first task, I was deployed straight to Damboa local government. The first attack that happened in Damboa was when we overpowered Boko Haram terrorists with our inferior weapons. As time went on, I met with my commander, my loving commander. I said, sir, when we went for our first attack, I noticed my weapon used to jam. The weapon.
Yeah. 2012, that was when it all began in full, you know, full throttle.
It's jamming, it jams. So he said to me that there is an alternative. He said I should make sure that I service my rifle on daily basis, like every morning. I said, Ogasa, I normally used to service my rifle daily because of the terrain. The first day, I went to Sambisa Forest. My first encounter in Sambisa Forest was when I knew that what Boko Haram terrorists use against my troop was more sophisticated than the one I used. When we got engaged in a fierce battle, as they were firing and we were firing, I discovered my weapon, the sound of my weapon was nowhere near. I discovered they were using Browning machine gun. That's Browning machine gun with the anti-aircraft machine gun. Those two machine guns were what my troop lacked. Because the highest weapon we had, the highest machine gun we had, was the MPMG machine gun. The Brenner machine gun has an effective range of 1,800 meters.
Wow.
Why?
And did you see the CAC church? You see what happened? Did you hear those guns, the way it was blazing? When that stuff was caught on live stream, it's crazy.
Its maximum range is above 7,000 meters. That is the BMG for you. Then the anti-aircraft machine gun has an effective range of 12,000 meters. The killing range of the rifle I used in Borno State to counter terrorists has an effective range of 400 meters, the killing range, while the maximum range is 800 meters. So with my own rifle firing at a killing range of 400 meters and 800 meters maximum range, how am I expect to overcome in the battlefield? My first deployment was Town Patrol. Second deployment was in Damboa. Third deployment was at Bali. All these places are dangerous terrains. Again, I still said to my commander, I still appeal to him. I appeal to him that please, we don't have nurses in the battlefront. We don't have doctors in the battlefront. We don't have first aid kit, the kit in the battlefront. How do we expect to help ourselves should in case anyone gets injured, like bullet injury? As time goes on, after Damboa, we moved to Bali. Bali is an open ground, a rugged terrain, but very open. As time went on, the complaint became rampant. Not only me alone. Soldiers began to complain. Because my boss told me that weapon issue has been one of the greatest challenges facing the army ever since. So when we started losing men, when we started losing, we lost men. Brave men died in the battlefront. My next deployment was at 21 Armored Brigade, Giwa Barracks. That was where my team formed a defense platoon. We were briefed of a threat by Boko Haram terrorists. Unknown to us that their plan was to use that attack as a means of decoy, for everybody to concentrate on that barracks. That was when Giwa Barrack was attacked. 14th of April, 2014 was when Boko Haram attacked my base, the base I was supposed to protect. We were at Beneshek advancing, and the call came to my commander that Giwa Barrack was under attack. We had to leave, we had to turn immediately from Beneshek back to 21 Armored Brigade to repel the attack. But before we got there, Boko Haram terrorists had already caused damage. That day was bloody. Soldiers died, but I cannot ascertain the number of soldiers that died on that day.
At some point, there needs to be reckoning, a strict reckoning to all those that have gotten themselves involved in this mess. I don't know how that would happen. I don't even think that Nigeria is capable of holding itself accountable. Because I remember then that we had people that came out to say, you know what, we don't have weapons. These guys have stronger and more powerful weapons than the military. Is that
soldiers died? Boko Haram terrorists, most of them never escaped. Most of them never escaped. They did not escape. Because the Air Force jet came, it gave us the morale, the confidence to fight back. When the Air Force jet came, the first person the Air Force jet targeted was that man behind the anti-aircraft gun. It was a bloody operation. That same 14th of April, that was the same day Boko Haram attacked Chibok girls. That was the decoy I talked about. They formed a decoy to divert attention. The firing lasted, the battle lasted for like, let's say,
wow,
1 hour plus, 1 hour 30 minutes.
Wow.
On the 9th of July, 2014.
Wow.
My team was to advance to that same Damboa again. On our way going for that deployment, I noticed we were going with soft skin vehicles. And then when I checked, I saw no BMG and anti-aircraft machine guns. I myself was demoralized. The next thing we heard along the expressway going to Damboa was an RPG from nowhere. Before you knew it, they started engaging us. But because of the fact that we used soft skin vehicles, 9 soldiers died at the spot, leaving 23 other soldiers with bullet injury.
Whoa.
On the 9th of July, 2014, that ambush was suicide. If one soldier die, we weep. The pain, the feeling you get. So 9 soldiers at a go, 23 others bullet injury because we used soft skin vehicles. If we had used bulletproof vehicles, there is no way any soldier will get injured. Now, after that 9th of July ambush, that Boko Haram killed 9 soldiers and 23 others injured, was when we appealed to the commander. After that time, we buried our dead. After we buried our dead, the rest were taken to military hospital for treatment.
Yeah.
After 2 weeks interval, a tax came from the GOC for us to deploy at that same Damboa local government again. Damboa again, same Damboa again that we went to and couldn't combat these people very effectively because we lacked support weapons. A call came from nowhere that my troop refused order. That was the information that came, that my troop refused order. My troop did not refuse order. We waited. Me, myself, I waited. I waited there waiting for the weapon to come.
Wow.
So we can advance with. And they brought that old armored personnel carrier, that old Stair APC. I waited to see if there were other weapons to support, to back up that Stair APC. No weapon came. No weapon came. So at such, I had to mellow down. They know they use Mozu do one. Maybe by Mozu. So that was when an order came for us, my team, to be arrested. Why are we going to be arrested? But the arrest didn't come officially. What came at first was that we want to be briefed, that the GOC wants to brief us. You know, I felt very discouraged after a 1-year heavy gun battle duel against terrorists, defending my country, defending my nation. The next thing that I saw was handcuff. From handcuff, I was taken into custody. And then I asked the military police intelligence why he handcuffed me. He said he was following order to handcuff me. I didn't say anything, but I panicked in the cell. That was how it started to like play. We were locked up in an underground cell. For 1 year, we didn't see the sun. Me, myself, I just used to see if I can be peeping outside to be seeing the sky. Because the sky gives courage. The sky gives hope.
Wow. Wow, that's yeah. That's really crazy. Okay, so at this point, I would definitely just call it a day at this point. Hopefully, things work out well. Thanks for joining. If you've not subscribed, subscribe to the show, and I'll be back later in the day. Thanks for watching. Bye.